You know, they could have just shown up to New York Comic Con and played the trailer for Season 4 500 times, and I would have been okay with it. Yep. What's going on, everyone? James here with another real recap, and today we're going to break down all of the announcements and reveals from the Dragon Princess panel at this year's New York Comic Con. Now, if you missed it, the coverage started early today on the channel. I reacted to the official trailer that was uploaded to Netflix for Season 4. It was incredible, and I might have almost cried, so you can find that right in the description below or floating around at the top of the screen. And hey, before we get into all of the announcements, you guys, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about the Dragon Prince, movies, TV, and all of the news in between. So if you do too, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button if you're a big fan of the Dragon Prince, and let me know in the comments which bit of news out of New York Comic Con was your favorite. Like I mentioned, the day started early with the official trailer dropping, and it was a beautiful trailer. It was 1 minute long, and it had a ton of goodies in store for fans, including our first look at Rayla in Season 4 and alluding to some important plot details for this upcoming season. So you know what? Let's waste no more time and get right into the panel and everything that Ehasz and the cast and crew brought to the table. So the Dragon Prince panel begins with a packed house. Apparently it was full to capacity, and a lot of guests were not able to make it inside the double doors. But it was really cool to hear that before the panel began, the showrunner, one of the showrunners I should say, they didn't specify who, was talking about the show getting darker in tone and the ratings getting more mature. That report comes via Admiral Jello, who we quote many times in this recap, but I think they're joking. There's no way this show gets darker or mature in tone unless somebody dies. They better not do it. Once the panel officially began, Dragon Prince BR reported that Jason Simpson, who voices Viren, and Jesse Inokala, who voices Soren, were already present, as well as co-creators Ehasz and Justin Richmond. Now that was confirmed by both the Dragon Prince's official website and New York Comic Con themselves, but again, like I said in my predictions, guys, I have a feeling someone else might show up. And boy, did they ever. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here and get into this next bit from the panel. Admiral Jello reports that Ehasz said, "You will not be waiting as long for the next seasons as we did for Season 4. Now that's interesting. So we know that, if I'm not mistaken, they are renewed all the way through Season 7 or Season 8, and that's a lot of episodes that have been greenlit. Now, I think that the pandemic probably hurt them in so many different studios and animation teams, but this is a good sign for fans of the Dragon Prince. And then apparently Jason Simpson caught everyone up in the audience with a summary of the first 3 seasons while he was in character. I love when actors do this at comic conventions and panels. It is just so fun, it's so engaging, and it gets everyone really in the mood for the rest of the panel. Now, this next segment was actually pretty darn fun. And if you remember in my predictions video earlier this week, you guys, I thought that they would show off concept art. Well, I guess I get half points because they showed off official artwork for our characters and how they are going to sport new designs in Season 4, beginning with Claudia's new look. And then you have Soren's new look as well, followed by Aunt Amaya or General Amaya's new look. And then they went ahead and showcased her love, Janae's new look, and I thought it looked really amazing. But there's a bit of cool news here too. Dragon Prince BR said there was a detail dropped about Janae. Let's read it here. There's a lot of responsibility on Janae for a new alliance with humans. She and Amaya fell in love and they're together. Well, we knew they're together. We know they're in love. What's the next step? Engagement. So I wonder if that happens and maybe there's a marriage scene this season. But interesting to not only have seen the trailer and understand that there is some sort of tension between the humans and the Sunfire Elves, but then hearing that detail pretty much confirms that there's still a lot of tension, and we're going to see that in Season 4. And then they showcased King Ezran's new look. Now listen, we knew he was getting a brand new look for this season based on the short story that we read together here on the channel, and after that poster that we got, it seems like his crown's a little different because he used that bit of metal from his father, King Harrow's sword, for the crown. And then there's Zim's new look. Now we did see Zim in the trailer looking a little bit more grown. Remember we mentioned that, guys? But according to Admiral Jello, he heard from one of the showrunners that Zim has grown into a full arch dragon, and apparently Dragon Prince BR says that this is Zim in his preteen phase. So the man's gonna have a lot of angst, and he's also probably gonna have a lot of energy. Yeah, Zim is bouncing off the walls in this season. And then it was really cool to get another full look at CALLUM's new look. And according to Admiral Jello, one more time, this is a very much leveled up CALLUM. He basically is a higher ranked, more experienced mage. Now that is cool, and I almost wonder if that is a good thing or a bad thing if Adavos gets his hands on CALLUM this season. And then this was a moment where there wasn't much news, and I don't want to report on any spoilers. I didn't see any, thank God, but the audience was able to watch the season 4 premiere episode, and they got to see the official trailer shortly after. Again, I don't know any details about episode 1. I don't want to know. We're going to react to it here on the channel when it drops, and yes, we have a release date we're going to talk about soon, but this next segment was one that made me so happy as a fan of Rayla, because if you remember, again, in my predictions video, I said it. I said Paula Burrows is probably going to show up after the trailer. The lights come up and then Paula Burrows scoots in, and what happened? She showed up at the panel. That's right, the voice actor for Rayla surprised the audience following the episode 1 watch along and trailer debut. And it was really cool to see that she was playing along with the audience, basically demanding to know where Rayla is. I love that. I love the camaraderie among the cast, the crew, and the audience and fans themselves. It was just really dope. And then afterwards, they showcased Rayla's new look, and boy, does she look incredible. I love this new look at Rayla that we got here and in the trailer. It's just so neat to see more about one of my favorite animated characters of all time. So yeah, it was just a ton of fun. And many of you were saying how adorable Rayla's new sidekick was from the trailer. It looked like a monkey or a lemur of some sort, but we got confirmation that Rayla's pet is a cuddle monkey. And according to Admiral Jello, they asked Ehasz about the cuddle monkey, and he said it's a juvenile cuddle monkey and they're not affiliated with a primal source, but their inexperiences cause them to grow into any primal source, not just a star primal stone, but this cuddle monkey, who is named Stella, will grow into the star primal. That's a huge update, guys. That is a big deal and might make sense as to some of the questions you guys had about the trailer earlier as well. So I love that. There's a lot more probably to dive into that later, but I can just theorize, I can just start to think about what that could mean for season 4. And then the biggest bit of news to come out of this panel, guys, we got a release date revealed and confirmed. I don't want to say I called it, but I called it. I didn't call the date, I just called that they would actually announce the release date, but you want to know what it is, right? It is November 3rd. That is a Thursday, you guys. That is when we are getting season 4 of The Dragon Prince. Now, I expect this to be a batch release. I don't think that this is going to be a weekly release. However, that would be a nice change of pace, because you and we all know that fans for The Dragon Prince will show up and show out. So if they did a weekly release, I wouldn't be opposed. However, if they drop it all at once, you'll get every reaction right here on the channel and my review. So I can't wait for that. But then the Q&A began right afterwards, and it was maybe a Q&A that lasted longer than the tweets suggest, but it didn't seem like there was much news, but there were a couple of takeaways here. An audience member asked if we'd see Rayla's parents again, according to Admiral Jello, and the showrunners couldn't confirm if we'd see them, but that, quote, "we'd learn more about them in storytelling." Very ominous. Maybe that means external source, not just the TV series. Maybe that means expository dialogue in the show, or just graphic novels or novels alike. It's a gray area there. We don't know, but hopefully we'll get that cleared up in season 4. Maybe that is just a bit of diversion. They're trying to get away from the fact that there is going to be talk about Rayla's parents in season 4. Who knows? And then somebody asked if the show was impacted by Netflix's animation cuts, and they said no, which is a bit of good news. And finally, when the cast and crew on the panel were asked about the number of dragons, they said, and I quote, "you can count the number of arch dragons on 2 hands, but regular dragons, hundreds." If we get an all-out dragon war, I am about it. House Targaryen represent. Oh, wrong show. But no, I'm on a serious note. I think that would be a really cool visual spectacle. The display would be incredible, and we already saw the animation in the season 4 trailer looking great. So there you have it, guys. That is my real recap of all the news from the Dragon Prince panel at New York Comic Con. Let me know in the comments down below which headline is your favorite. And yes, it can be the trailer because of Rayla. And I think that this is just good news. We didn't learn too much more about season 4, which I'm okay with, because guys, it is right around the corner. So go ahead and get subscribed down below for more Dragon Prince news, for my reactions and my reviews for season 4. It is going to be a blast, and hey, who knows, maybe they tack on a couple more episodes to the total episode count for season 4. Maybe we get 10 or 12 episodes. That's going to be fun, but it's possible we'll learn more about the episode count as we get closer to November 3rd. If we do, we'll we'll talk about it on the channel. Alrighty, y'all, thanks so much for sticking with me today. It was fun doing New York Comic Con right here in South Florida, but hey, it's Dragon Prince news nonetheless. Alrighty, y'all, I need to go catch my breath, and I'll catch you at the next screening.